It says we're live. Welcome to the live stream today. Sorry, it's not Saturday like I usually try to do this. I usually try to do these on Saturdays, but you know what? I was busy yesterday, and I still wanted to do my live stream this week, so I'm on today. So welcome. If you're new, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe, like, share, comment. You know the stuff. But if you've been here before, welcome back and all that. I'll have links below for everything. So it's just but anyway, today's live stream, we're going to be talking about basically just like the election and what my thoughts are on that. So, one second here, stand by. All right, had to adjust a few things. I'm prepared, but certain things were kind of little off the wall. But anyway, try and keep this one short because it's Sunday and I got to work in the morning pretty early. So, but anyway, my take on the election is basically, and I know a lot of people have already talked about the election. You're probably sick and tired of hearing about the election and people's opinions on it, but and there's still a few things to go. They finally gave Trump all the states. It's finally done counting the presidential. He's got 312 electoral votes. The Senate, we're still waiting on one seat. Kind of looks like it might go Democrat, but the Republicans won 4 seats in the Senate, and they now hold control of the Senate. And we're still waiting on a few in the House. Need 218 for a majority. I think they're at 214, but they gained two, and they already had control, so they might should maintain control of that. I'm kind of happy that that's the case. I'm kind of, like probably a lot of us were probably kind of sick of the administration that was in, the Bidens. He kind of messed things up a lot, and I'm kind of glad that they're not there. I'm glad the election's over. I'm kind of glad about the results, but hopefully they can actually do something with it when they're having control of both seats of House, Senate, and President. Hopefully they can kind of get some stuff done on that. But anyway, the reason why I'm happy that is, based on the issues that interest me the most. You know, I don't vote just for the person. I vote for the issue that that mostly affect me. And the economy, the first one, like I said, when Trump was in office before, the economy was good. I had, my money went further. And lately, it's the past few years, it just hasn't. It's been horrible, especially lately. I've been in kind of a rut, and I'm sure most of us have. 2A rights, gun rights, a lot of talk about confiscating guns, mandatory buybacks, and things like that. I believe in the Second Amendment, and I think it's there for a reason, and I think it should stay that way. And it does say shall not be infringed. And, you know, I think for that reason, I think Trump was the best candidate. And again, I don't think he was perfect at that. He has said some things that kind of set a lot of people off. The take the guns now and due process later, and that kind of didn't go over well with a lot of people, and I didn't care for that either. But he never wanted to do any kind of buybacks or confiscations or bans of any kind of firearms or anything. So I feel like Trump was the better choice for that. Border security, by far, Trump's better at that. We've been having a lot of people coming over the across the southern border with and we don't know who it is. They've been known terrorists coming across. There's been a lot of people coming across with fentanyl and drugs, and it's just kind of a mess. So and Kamala Harris was the border czar. She was in charge of that, and it was the last 4 years have been the probably the worst it's ever been. There's been millions of people coming across the southern border. So again, by far, I think Trump was a better choice. And the wars that are going on, I think a lot of those wouldn't have happened. The war in the Middle East, maybe with Iran and Israel, I think that could have still happened. But the Russia Ukraine war, I don't think that would have happened at all. I think that would have just, but it is, and you know, so those are the reasons, and those are the reasons why I voted for Trump. because he's just the better person for that. I don't, but whatever your choices are, that whatever your issues are, I think that's where you should vote. You shouldn't vote for a person just because you don't like the other person. That's what a lot of people do. But and with the right and the left and all the division in the country, I also like a lot of them calling for unity. We need unity in our country, and unity isn't necessarily like the left. Their unity is do what I say, follow me, we'll all believe the same, we'll all, and that's unity. Unity to me is not like that. Unity to me is we can disagree and still be friends. You can have your issues, we can have discussions, we can, and that's what makes America so great is the diversity in thoughts and opinions. It'd be awfully boring if everybody believed the same thing. If everybody in the country liked Fords, there would be no Chevy. If everybody in the country liked McDonald's, there would be no Burger King. And things like it would just be boring. And that's what makes the country great. And I think that regardless how we believe politically, we can still be friends, have conversations. You don't have to go at each other just because you like Trump, you're a racist, or just because you like Biden, you're whatever. It doesn't mean anything. We can still be friends. We can have differences and still be friends. That's what unity is, says me. And it's on both sides. It's not just the left. It's not just the right. It's both sides. They're both just as bad as the other for the most part. And, there's no better. It's both sides. They need to, the right won't work with the left. The left won't work with the right. It's both sides. They both need to just come together. Everybody just needs to come together. And also, don't just think that because he's in office or he got elected that he's safe. He's already been attempted assassination twice. And don't go thinking that they might not want to keep trying that before he gets in office. They've tried, they haven't wanted him in there, and they're going to try and do everything they can to not let him in there. Even though he's elected, he may not be safe. Like I said, they've already tried twice. Who's to say they're not going to keep trying until they accomplish their mission? So don't just think he's safe. But hopefully, with the House and the Senate and the president, they can actually get some things done, because that would be nice if they could actually get, because there are still some Republicans that don't like Trump and that might still vote against him. So it all depends on what they can still get done, because he had it before. His first time in office, the first 2 years, he had the House and the Senate and the president, and there was still a lot of headbutting and still a lot of nothing getting done. So hopefully they can utilize that, and they can get some stuff done. He's got some big plans, and hopefully he can get that done. So that's my take on the actual election itself. I do have a couple little articles I wanted to kind of read that kind of involve election stuff, and some other political stuff. But anyway, I don't know if you've heard, but this one's from The Blaze, and it's FEMA investigating a stunning report that hurricane relief workers were ordered to skip houses that had pro-Trump signs. It's kind of, yeah. And I thought maybe when I first read this, I was like, I don't know, maybe this is just like a journalist stunt or maybe just one person's heard it. But I've heard this on a few other news channels. So I'm pretty sure this is something that was actually, but the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, said it is looking into a shocking report that one of its officials had ordered relief workers to skip homes that were displaying Trump signs. And this is after the Hurricane Milton and Hurricane Helene came through, and they were out trying to help with with relief funds and relief efforts, and they were ordered to skip any houses that had Trump, on them. That this is how much they hate this man, and that's like they're willing to do anything to not let him in there. That's why I say he's not perfectly safe just because he's elected. Don't go thinking that yes, he's elected. Well, he's still got to get there. He's still got 3 months almost. What is it, the 20th of January or something when he finally takes office? So he's still got quite a bit of time before he's there. So don't go thinking that he's safe. The Daily Wire first documented the accusations based on multiple workers who said that Supervisor Marnie Washington gave a verbal order to avoid Trump homes. It also obtained documents that corroborated the claims. Trump sign, no entry per leadership, read one entry in the government system review by The Wire. Washington reportedly made the order as workers were canvassing neighborhoods in Lake Placid, Florida, to sign up residents for federal aid for damage from Hurricane Milton in October and November. I know they're short-staffed. I thought we could go help and make a difference, said one employee, quoted in the Wire report. When we got there, we were told to discriminate against people. It's almost unbelievable to think that somebody in the federal government would say that that's okay. They're the ones that are trying to say we're the discriminated ones. We support Trump, so we're the racists. We're the discriminate. We're the ones that are spreading hate and all that. But they're telling them to discriminate against the Trump people. The report said the district affected by Washington's order voted by 70% to back President-elect Trump in the election. I volunteered to help disaster victims, not discriminate against them, the employee continued. It didn't matter if people were black, white, Hispanic, for Trump, for Harris. Everyone deserves the same amount of help. That's what I'm talking about. Unity. Everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. We can still be friends. It doesn't matter if you're Harris or Trump or Biden or whatever, or black or white. We can still be friends. That's unity. Unity's not do what I say, follow me, we go this way, down the same road, down. That's not unity. Unity isn't I do what you order me around and I do what you say. That's not unity. Other messages in the government system read, per leadership, no stop, Trump flag, Trump sign, and Trump sign, no contact per leadership. FEMA told The Wire it was investigating the claim. We are aware of it and we are taking action at this moment regarding the situation that you're talking about, said Washington's FEMA supervisor, Chad Hershey. The Wire also obtained a complaint made to FEMA about the alleged incident. This behavior raises significant concern of discrimination against United States citizens because of their political views. The complaint read, these actions not only undermine the integrity of our agency and create a hostile work environment for those who may hold differing political beliefs, but they also threaten the very democracy of our country. FEMA had been previously criticized for what many said was a slow and incompetent response to a major natural disaster that struck mainly Republican majority states and counties. So even just the fact that they hit more predominantly Trump supported states and counties, they were just slow to respond. They just, we'll get there when we feel like it. We'll, and a lot of these people, when the first hurricane came through, they lost everything, lost their homes, lost everything. They were given $750 from the government for relief. Like, that buys a week's worth of groceries from my house. That wouldn't do anything. If you quit sending billions and billions and billions of dollars over to Ukraine, which should stop, by the way, now that, or once slash if Trump gets in, that should stop. And maybe that money would have gone to the citizens instead that actually needed it. But since they're Trump supporters and Ukraine apparently is not, Ukraine got the money. But anyway, the next one is from Fox News, and it's more than half of Harris voters want to relocate following the Trump win, a survey says. So more than half of her voters want to relocate. I can already tell you where this article's going, and I've skimmed through it, but I kind of already know where it's going. And you know what? From what I say, they are more than welcome to leave. You know, if they want to leave, leave. They said that last time he was in office, and they didn't. So it's like, you want to relocate? Relocate. Go. But more than 50% of voters for Vice President Kamala Harris say they want to move following Trump's victory in 2024 presidential election, according to a survey commissioned by StorageUnits.com. Storage units, huh? Anyway, Storage Units surveyed 1,837 Harris voters on November 6th to determine how many of them would like to relocate and who actually planned to, and top concerns for those who voted against Trump. Of those surveyed, 44% would like to move but probably won't, while 5% said they will definitely move, and another 5% said probably will. Those who would like to move but probably won't cited personal, finance, family, and community ties as the reason they won't. So they want to go, but they won't because they really don't want to, because they know that it's actually going to be a better place. They just don't want to admit it. Says me. Of the 10% planning to move or seriously considering it, 90% are looking to move to another country, with the top choices being Canada, United Kingdom, and Mexico. Bye-bye. California, New York, and Colorado were top 3 choices for those considering moving to another state. You want to move to another state? California, that's basically another country. Says me, but there are some good people in California. Don't get me wrong, not trying to be rude to anybody, but California as a whole, a big picture, is probably not the best place to be. If you're one of the good ones, you should be the ones wanting to move, wanting to relocate. If you're one of the good ones that live in California, because California is not California that it used to be. According to the survey, the top 3 reasons Harris voters want to relocate are concerns that a federal abortion ban will be enacted, an increase in racial inequality, and progressive rights will be overturned. Again, Trump's already said about abortions, let the states worry about it. It's not a federal issue, it's a state issue. He's already said that. He's not going to ban it. He's going to leave it up to the states. Do I believe in it? No. I don't believe in it, but I'm not, if you want to do that, fine, do that. That's between you and the creator of the universe, not me. I don't have a right to say that. If you want to do that, fine. I don't believe in it. I don't support it. But you do you. And it's up to the states. If the states allow it, the states allow it. And that's what Trump said. Trump said it's a state issue. That's not a federal issue. So I don't think he's going to ban that. I don't think he can. I don't think he will. Racial inequalities, that's just jibber jabber, because really it's the left that's actually the ones that are discriminating. And so I just told you, if you're a Trump supporter, they discriminate. They don't, we're the evil ones, we're the bad ones, but you don't hear it. They've got it all backwards. The progressive rights, no comment on that one, just because I don't know enough about that one, because that's not an issue I've read up on much, but so I'm not going to comment on that one. But abortion access at federal level, which was one of the Democrats' top campaign issues, has been an area of concern for many Dem voters, despite Trump stating it would not enact a federal abortion ban, and reiterate that he agrees with the decision being left up to the states' hands after Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court on June 2022. See, it's up to the states. He's already said he can't ban it and he's not going to ban it. He's going to leave it up to the states. He's already said that. So I don't know what their problem is with abortions. It's up to the state. Other top areas include reduction in healthcare access, increased social inequality, lack of gun regulations, and the weakening of public education. Again, got it all backwards. He's not gonna. He's got the lack of gun regulations because that same reason I talked about earlier. It's our right. It's our Second Amendment right, and it says right in the words shall not be infringed, and all these stuff that they're doing, it eventually will lead to gun bans. Yeah, they want to start with assault weapons, which is just a term that they've made up to scare people. But it's one of those, they want to start with that, and then they're going to go to, well, now the handguns are used more, so we need to ban handguns, and then they're going to just basically it's just going to be a big snowball effect, and that's it. The weakening of public education. I don't see where they say that we're the cause of that. They're bringing in nonsense into our schools, and they're changing around history. They're changing around science, and history is history, and you can't just change history. Some Harris voters who are experiencing fear and anxiety and concern following the election results may elect to shift from a red to a blue state with friendlier LGBTQ and or less restrictive abortion laws. However, there are a number of factors influencing many political moves, such as cost of living, job availability, and housing prices. Yeah, blue states are expensive to live in. Tax rates are skyrocket, prices are skyrocket. It's, what do you want to do? Yeah, they've got lighter abortion laws, and they've got friendlier laws for the LGBTQ plus community, but cost of living is outrageous to live there. Economy's horrible. Homeless rates are through the roof, and it's because people can't afford to live there. You got to take your pick here. Why is it easier to live in a red state, but harder to live in a blue state? But yet, it's, take your pick here. I voted on economy. Economy's better in red states. It's easier to live. Housing costs are lower. Cost of living's lower. You got to pick your poison. Anyway, that's pretty much it on that. You kind of get the gist of that one. There's one more. I may not read. This video's getting kind of long, so I might just kind of keep it short. It's getting late. Like I said, it's Sunday. I got to go to bed early. But this one, I might touch on it a little. We'll see how it's going. But the Trump advisor says Ukraine focus must be peace, not retaking territory. So basically, they want to talk peace and not retaking the territory from Russia. A senior advisor to President-elect Donald Trump says the incoming administration will focus on achieving peace in the war in Ukraine rather than winning back territory. See, they're not really planning on, they don't want to fight back. They just, they want to plan on peace, and, that's fine. I think Putin's scared of Trump and will probably end the war anyway soon as Trump takes office. And if President Zelensky comes to the table and says we can only have peace if we have Crimea, he shows us that he's not serious, he said. Russia annexed the Crimea Peninsula in 2014. 8 years later, it launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine and has occupied territories in the country's east. Trump has already spoken to Zelensky since winning the election. The pair held a phone call on Wednesday with billionaire Elon Musk also taking part. It was a short call with Musk, but it was a good lengthy conversation with Trump. It lasted about a half an hour, a source in Ukraine presidential office told the BBC. This is from the BBC, by the way. It was not really a conversation to talk about very substantial things, but overall it was very warm and pleasant. Trump has consistently said his priority is to end the war and stem to drain the U.S. the drain on U.S. stem the drain on U.S. resources. He needs to quit sending everything over there. That's gonna help. Like I said, it's all this money's going over there. They couldn't give any to the residents that lost everything here in our own home country. His Democrat opponents have accused him of cozying up to Russia President Vladimir Putin and say his approach to the war amounts to surrender for Ukraine and will endanger all of Europe. Last month, President Zelensky presented a victory plan to the Ukrainian parliament that included a refusal to trade Ukraine territory and sovereignty. During his election campaign, Trump repeatedly said he could end the war between Russia and Ukraine in a day, but gave no details. A paper written by two of his former national security chiefs in May said the U.S. should continue supplying weapons, but make the support conditional on Kyiv entering peace talks with Russia. Ukraine should not give up its hopes of getting all of its territories back from Russia occupation, the paper said, but it should negotiate based on current front lines. Mr. Nonza did not mention the areas of Ukraine, but he did say regaining Crimea from Russia was unrealistic and not the goal of the United States. When Zelensky says he will only stop fighting, there will only be peace once Crimea is returned. We've got news for President Zelensky. Crimea is gone, he told the BBC World Services Weekend program. And if that is your priority of getting Crimea back and having America soldiers fight to get Crimea back, you're on your own. Mr. Lanza said he had tremendous respect for the Ukrainian people, describing them as having the hearts of lions, but he said the U.S. priority was peace and to stop the killing. What we're going to say to Ukraine is, you know what you see. What do you see is a realistic vision for peace. It's not a vision for winning, but it's a vision for peace. And let's start having an honest conversation, he said. And it goes on a little bit further, not too much. Earlier this week, Putin congratulated Trump on his election victory and said Trump's claim that he can help end the war in Ukraine deserves attention at least. So even Putin's on board with peace and not necessarily winning it back, but on board with peace talks. Of course, because Putin's scared of Trump. Mr. Lanza also criticized the support the Biden-Harris administration and European countries have given to Ukraine since Russia's full-scale invasion in February. They've been giving them everything. They've been giving them more money than they've been giving themselves, and they give themselves a lot of money. The reality on the ground is that the European nation states and President Biden did not give Ukraine the ability and the arms to win the war at the very beginning, and they failed to lift restrictions for Ukraine to win, he said. Earlier this year, the House of Representatives approved a $61 billion package in military aid for Ukraine to help combat Russia's invasion. The U.S. has been the biggest arms supplier to Ukraine between February 22 and the end of June 24, it delivered or committed weapons and equipment worth 55.5 billion, according to the Kiel Institute for the World Economy, a German research organization. We've given them a lot of money and a lot of stuff, and Russia's even said, if you use that, you're escalating war. So what are they doing with it? They just holding on to it? What are they doing with all this money? If they're not allowed to use it, they're not allowed to use our weaponry that we've sent over there. What's it doing? Just sitting there? Because if Russia said they use it, then it's escalation of war, and that basically is the United States declaring war on Russia. So what's this money all that they've been sending over there? 61 billion. And that's just one package. They've been sending money over the left and right, and then another $55 billion in equipment. That's way too much, and then they're giving our citizens that lost everything they own, that everything they've worked for, $750. Here's a week's worth of groceries for you. Good luck. But anyway, that's the show. Appreciate y'all watching. Do the YouTube stuff, hit the like, subscribe. There's links down below for socials and donate. If you feel like donating, there's the supers, and there's a PayPal link if you feel like it. If not, hey, cool. Just hit the subscribe button. Help me out. Got some goals for next year. Got some pretty big goals. Hopefully we can achieve those. Even the subscribe, every teeny little bit helps. If that's all you can do, just hit the subscribe button. Help me out. Appreciate you. Love you again. Like the links down below. Love you. Appreciate y'all. Couldn't do it without you. Wouldn't do it without you. And I'll see you in the next one.